We are the vicious visualizers, and our dataset of choice was the opioid epidemic in Indiana. The increase in opioid prescriptions since the 1990s has led to an increase in overdose deaths, resulting in a large-scale epidemic in Indiana. Due to this, there has been a dramatic increase in direct and indirect costs, which largely affects the economy. Direct costs include products and services used to combat the epidemic, such as treatment center costs. Indirect costs include lost work productivity from overdoses and abusers. To investigate these costs, we found additional data from a study that estimated and measured the total monetary losses created by the epidemic in Indiana. Just to name a few, this included lost wages, arrest costs, and lost annual GSP. Everything accounted for in the study is listed on this slide. Although the entire country is affected by the epidemic, there have been very severe consequences evident in Indiana.
So the question we investigated was, what are the financial costs of the opioid crisis in Indiana? The audience for this is anyone who wants to know the financial costs of the opioid epidemic. This could include the government or any curious individuals. The problem here is the large amount of lost lives, addiction, and financial issues within Indiana. So far, there hasn't been anything done about the financial cost of the epidemic, but there has been many efforts to put a stop to the opioid crisis. This problem is extremely significant because it's causing people to lose their lives, friends, and family. It is critical that we stop the epidemic before it hurts more people. Along with losing lives, the epidemic has also cost the state of Indiana over $4 billion a year. Following this, our work is important because we hope to make more people care about the epidemic. Showing people how the opioid crisis affects the economy might make people begin to realize how widespread of an issue it is.
Here is our group visualization. When you look at this graph, the colors indicate the type of economic cost. For example, the orange represents medical treatment and the yellow represents legal cost. The white line shows the number of deaths due to the opioid misuse. The bar graph shows the cost of the opioid epidemic, while the line graph shows the number of deaths due to the opioid misuse. As you can see, the height of the bars go up and down at the same time as the line. This shows the correlation between the number of deaths and the economic cost. As deaths increase, so do the economic cost.
I'm from Northville, Michigan, but I wanted to look at the overall state of Michigan compared to the overall state of Indiana. I wanted to know how Michigan was different from Indiana in the number of overdose deaths. As you can clearly see in the graph, Michigan has always had more deaths, but in recent years, the amount of deaths in Michigan has been almost double the amount in Indiana.
I chose to look at where I grew up in Rochester, New York, and see if the number of deaths was continuing to increase as it was in Indiana. New York continued to have more deaths than Indiana each year, but they also have a much larger population. Indiana has a higher percentage of opioid deaths based on their population per year.
I look at China compared to America. I want to know the difference of drug overdose death rate between each country, since they have different drug control policy. As you can see in the graph, the color in America is much darker than in China, which means that America has higher death rate. Therefore, the drug overdose issue is more severe in America. The drug overdose death rate in China is much lower than in America.